books written by a judge or Leadbeater or any person, and then move on to, or you can even just go to the Alice Bailey books, but start with the simpler books first. And there's a lot of knowledge in
And
there.
give them the titles of the simpler books.
Just to get a very general idea, get the book called Ponder on This.
Mm-hmm.
On that website, you don't even have to register to read this one. For other ones, you have to register, but it's no fee. And it's available from
Yes.
on Amazon for $13 to $15 brand new. The Ponder on This, and it's excerpts from all the books. It gives you a very good idea. Some of the books were specifically written for high initiates, and they're not easy. For instance, the Treatise on Cosmic Fire was written for those either who are preparing for the third initiation or were third degree initiates. So, that's maybe 2.5 people in Lubbock.
When you talk about the initiations, is that part of the Theosophical traditions? The initiations?
Yes.
Okay.
The 4 initiations was, I mean, perhaps in some way they, they're part of different traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Sufism, and I when I give a talk on those, I illustrate how they parallel to other traditions.
Mm-hmm.
In Sufism, there is the Fanafi Sheikh, merger with the Sheikh, merger with the teacher. Fanafi Rasul, merger with the Prophet. Fanafi Allah, merger with God.
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 stages.
I think I was here for that one, but I've slept since then.
Okay. How are we doing on time?
What time are you supposed to stop at? We talked about that before.
Anywhere from
It's
9 to 9:30.
Okay, it's 9:10.
9:10.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
You had said something about state of bliss. For somebody who's in a state of happiness, what does one have to attain to in order to reach the level of bliss that you were mentioning?
That level of the bliss is the ending of the path, is the ending of the cycles of time where you come upon it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a state when you have fulfilled all the learning, and then you drop all your thoughts and all your intentions as related to the human mind, because the state of bliss means becoming divine, going beyond the human.
Right.
So when you have done everything, when you have wrapped up everything and you let go of everything, then you come upon it. So in terms of doing, it's hard to understand unless you understand it already with a quiet mind, through meditation. It's not something you attain, because all attainment is within the human.
Right.
And that is a divine state.
Okay.
So, but if you understand that and meditate on it a little bit every day, you come closer and closer to it.
The image that I got when he asked that question was falling into the lap of God,
Yeah.
which is like light falling into light. Just
Right.
surrendering.
I have a
That's
friend,
beautiful.
very, very advanced. I consider him nearly God realized. And he would share his dreams with me a lot. And he would have this dream of his car falling into the ocean, and he's full of joy. The ocean represents, in a spiritual dream, represents the sea of spirituality. And it's just merging into the sea of spirituality.
I have a comment.
Yes.
You were talking about the Buddha,
Mm-hmm.
and the astrologer coming and saying that you would have to leave, and go
Right.
and see the suffering.
Yeah.
It's my personal opinion that there's no way he could have attained his enlightenment had he not gone and experienced the suffering of
Right.
other people.
Sure.
So to me, I think that's part of the process.
Yeah.
for you to have compassion. That's number one. And he was a master. We know
Yeah.
that. Then the other master, Jesus Christ, who I consider to be pure love. Um, he, to me, if we are, and you were saying that happiness is service.
Happiness is?
Service
Yeah.
is part of happiness or
Right.
whatever. You know, coming out of the whole mindset of, you know, the world's, you know, being healthy, having a roof over our head, all that, coming out of that and coming into the understanding that we have a greater purpose than just me.
Right.
Even in spirituality, I think we can be me.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, it just really kind of bugs me, but anyway, so to me, perfect love is service, and Jesus Christ said, basically, it's not the healthy that need healing, but it's the ones who are sick, and he was willing to go into the disease-ridden, sick, quote-unquote, negative world to heal them.
Right.
And so, to be a master, you can't be afraid, to me, this is just me, of getting something on you when you know that if you are operating in oneness.
Sure. That's what I remember. I said once you attain that state, there's no, only in the beginning you
Right.
act like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm just kind of talking through this in my head as you're going
Sure.
through all of that. So there has to come that time where you see yourself as so not separate and so one with everyone that you
Yeah.
realize everything, including the negative,
You're right.
is
It's one.
And that's
That's right.
part of walking that razor's edge too, is being in the state of oneness, but being able to be of service at whatever level you're called to.
Yeah. And you start,
Right?
you're not perfect. You start with service. Your service may not be with perfect intentions, but let's not scoff at it, because it will, if your intentions are right and you're sincere on the path, it will get perfect. And, you know, even service done with mixed motives,
absolutely.
it still raises your
It's still
vibration,
service.
because the good it does.
Sure.
You know, if you say, I am going to feed 200 people, well, 200 people did get fed, right? So even though you did that with mixed motives, it brought back a lot of energy back to your soul. And then next time you do it, perhaps you'll have less attachment to yourself doing that service. Eventually, please go ahead.
No, please, I
Please.
did not mean that.
Okay, eventually we will come to a point where, you know, the doer will talk about the experience and the experience. There's nobody else to serve. There's nobody else to serve. And when I was talking about how does that person who has attained this, how does he relate to a person still? Only in a way to uplift them also. And the personal relationship is also from that standpoint only, is to live. Because they're not separate from you. Shall we bring this to a close?
Why don't you see if anybody else has?
You know what we can do?
10 minutes, so.
10 minutes.
Yeah, see if anybody's got any more questions.
All we could do is, I had a thought of talking a little bit about, you know, the tools on the path of happiness. And I'll come back to affirmations. And there is an affirmation, it's like a prayer in the Vedic. It's translated into English, and it's supposed to be a very powerful prayer. You just do it and not dwell too much on how it's going to work. You know, this is just words. And the prayer is, I'm God, I'm God, I'm no different from God. I'm the one supreme absolute. I am Sat Chit Ananda, existence, knowledge and bliss. Grief and anxiety can never touch me. I am forever content and free from fear. They say that even if you do it 10 times a day, it brings about an incredible change.
Can you say it again? A little slower this
Yeah,
time?
I'm gonna write it down.
I can. Would you want to follow and do a one prayer?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like a prayer?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm God. I'm God. I'm no different from God.
I am God, I am God, I am no different from God.
I am the one supreme absolute.
I am the one supreme absolute.
I am Sat Chit Ananda, existence, knowledge, bliss.
I am Sat Chit Ananda, existence, knowledge, bliss.
Grief and anxiety can never touch me.
Grief and anxiety can never touch me.
I am forever content
I am
Forever
content
content.
and free from fear.
and free from fear.
That's good.
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
That I have a friend that is just wild because he said he had this epiphany God gave him, just like he never read it before, but it was given to him, this that you're saying. He
Mhm.
said, all of humanity's problems lie in the fact that they have forgotten that they are God.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, but he's not into all this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
sure.
but he's
But he had that come to him. I just thought
He
that
had
was.
that memory.
You know, I got into all this. Last thought of the day before we close, I was sharing with Beth when we were talking about the talks, and I said that you know, there's people that are born into this world in that state of unity of consciousness. And they come for a certain purpose. They come and live a divine life. And sometimes they teach, but not always. If they didn't teach, and that person lived next door to you, there's no way you'd recognize. Why? Because we're trained with our conditioned mind to recognize the so-called spirituality with the struggle for spirituality. If the person is already in that complete state of unity, will live in this world as a very ordinary person. But if you had opened your heart to that completely, in the silence of your heart, the state of his heart and his being can register in your heart, and you can know who he is or she is. But there's nothing that you would, there's no other way you could recognize such a being. And I have known such beings.
Do you think that people come with a certain purpose, maybe like Jesus came with a certain purpose, but he was so seated and he had achieved that maybe the negativity couldn't even touch him, because, and his gifts were spread. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
The next question I'll ask you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That no negativity can touch them. But yeah, spirituality is not always what we can recognize. You know, there's many spiritual beings who may be learning in ways that we have no idea. It's just to reflect on what you said.
She has another.
Oh, no.
Done? Okay. Oh. Did you want to share, or do you want to ask later?
No, actually, you said one word, and it put me where I needed to be. So
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
Good.
All right. So with that,
Would you repeat once more that prayer so I can write it down?
yes, certainly. I am God. I am God. I am no different from God. I am the one supreme absolute. I am Sat Chit Ananda.
What are those words?
The existent knowledge and bliss are translations of those three words.
It's Ananda's cry.
Existence, knowledge, and bliss.
Grief and anxiety can never touch me. I am forever content and free from fear.
Sarah, when you write that, would you post that on top?
Sure.
Great. That way we'll all have it.
Do you know the author?
This is ancient.
It's ancient.
It's ancient. It's in the scriptures. I even know the Sanskrit of it.
I was going to ask when you're ready to close if we could to do the Gayatri.
Gayatri?
Oh, yeah.
1 time, 3 times?
No, 21 times.
21 times.
I came.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Just so you can prepare to receive Gayatri 21 times, let me prepare you for it so that you're happy about it. Gayatri is supposed to be in the Vedic tradition the mother of all knowledge, of all higher knowledge. 4 lines of a prayer. They say even all Vedas are originated from the energy of the Gayatri. It was revealed to the sage Vishwamitra, who prayed to the Divine Mother for 1500 years to reveal a prayer through which man can fulfill all goals of life, including the highest goal. It's a non-denominational prayer, and all it basically does is ask the divine to enlighten the mind and heart. It has 24 syllables, and each syllable has a certain vibration and a certain energy that activates your chakras. And the teachers say that if you would just chant one mantra or say one prayer, that it should be the Gayatri. Are we ready for 21?
Beth, not everybody can know it. Do you still have the handouts?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I just forget.
Yeah, okay.
And can you demonstrate your cadence and intonation first for us so we can
Okay.
tune into it?
It's the first chant.
I can show you.
Hang on.
Okay.
I got it. It's the first page. It's this part of
For
it.
chanting the first prayer.
And this is sort of written out in how it sounds.
Just in time to chant, Abdul.
Okay.
Doing the Gayatri.
Abdul.
Did you need one lesson? Is there another one? Do you have another?
Yeah.
I'll have this. Oh my God.
Okay, so you're gonna run through it once. You're gonna run through it once.
Just say it once.
Just do it the way you normally would
Yeah,
chant.
just do it the way you do it.
So we
Just
can
me
hear you.
chant.
You'll
Yeah.
just let yourself do
As a
it.
demonstration one
Okay.
time.
Om Bhur Bhuvassuvaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah prachodayat.
Okay. Let's go.
Can we start the 21 times? Everybody
Yeah.
with me? Okay.
Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti
Shanti. And with that, we bring today's program to a close until we meet again.
If anyone feels led or feels like they would like to make a contribution